Hi, I'm John and welcome to the Jigsaw Puzzler. Today I want to do something a little bit different, sparked by an idea I had from one of the recent videos that I made. It was inspired by this puzzle, the artwork of Cressida Campbell, Through the Window, a 1,000-piece puzzle produced by the National Gallery of Australia. I recently attempted to complete this puzzle and I found it very frustrating. I found it quite difficult and the fun just kind of went out of it as I went along. Most of the videos, in fact all the videos apart from that one, have been about puzzles that I've really enjoyed, images that have been interesting to do, puzzles that have just been sheer pleasures to put together, even though they may have had some high degree of challenge to them, not necessarily easy puzzles, but I thought I'd have a look at some puzzles today that I haven't enjoyed doing. Cressida Campbell, I enjoyed the image very much. Don't get me wrong, I think it's an excellent image for a jigsaw puzzle. I'd love to see it in another version. I believe that Aldi might have had a version on sale of this image at some time in the past. I'm not aware of that particularly, but somebody else has made me aware that might be true. In which case, if I get my hands on it, I'd most certainly be happy to do a puzzle with that image on it. This puzzle, however, the pieces and the cut of the puzzle made it so frustrating, so difficult to put together, so many false fits, that I just decided to give up in the end because it would take me hours and hours just to get it all together. I did fill in all the pieces. I had all the blank spaces of the sky and the water, and I just laid all the pieces on top that I had just to see whether it was in fact complete, and there is one sky piece missing from this puzzle. So it'll be going to an op shop with a label on it to that effect. So unfortunately I did not enjoy this puzzle as much as I anticipated enjoying the image, and I just simply had to give it up. But that's not the first time that I've actually not enjoyed doing a puzzle. If we go backwards in time, the next most recent puzzle that I did about probably 8 months ago, which I did not enjoy, was this puzzle. It's a Where's Wally puzzle. It's called Deep Sea Divers. Now I've got another Where's Wally puzzle. I've had this one since I was a kid. You can see I've made a terrible repair here with some sticky tape of a tear on the corner of the box. The box is quite, two tears in fact. The box is quite beaten up. It is complete. But this was my first Where's Wally puzzle called The Castle Siege, and I have completed this one 3 or 4 times, and I actually don't mind this as a puzzle, to be honest. It is challenging, obviously. With Where's Wally there's all the similar colours and same looking people, but there's enough variation in here to be able to put it together satisfactorily. This element on the front cover here entirely covers over an important element of the picture, and there is no other reference picture on the box, so you are puzzling blind to figure out what goes under there. But again, not unachievable, and not a huge proportion of the puzzle is hidden. So I'm not speaking about Where's Wally puzzles per se that I don't enjoy them, because I actually don't mind this one at all. However, this one, the Deep Sea Divers, again, it was a similar kind of thing where there's lots of detail, lots of small things to look at, and you know, there's all sorts of action and people and fish and mermaids, and there are boats at the top, all sorts of things going on in this puzzle, as you would expect from Where's Wally. Unfortunately, this image on the front of the box is not the complete image. There's a whole section around it, not much at the bottom and not much at the top, but both sides, a significant proportion of the puzzle is not actually pictured on the front of the box. It does say actual puzzle image is on the back, and there it is. It's tiny. It's barely the size of my hand, and I don't have particularly big hands. It is absolutely minuscule. Now I know people are going to say, you know, take it somewhere, get it enlarged and photocopy it bigger and whatever to get a good look at the details. But honestly, even that did not make this particularly interesting for me. I found it a complete slog to try to find where different elements on the picture were. I did persist. It is a complete puzzle, even though I got this secondhand at an op shop. But I did not enjoy doing this one, not nearly as much as the Castle Siege. So unfortunately, that one, mostly because the reference picture was just too detailed. Enlarging this only helped to a degree, because it starts pixelated. You end up with a picture that it just simply enlarges the printing quality of this image, and it starts to pixelate and break up once you get it to a reasonable size. So disappointing. This one should have come with a poster, I think. That would have been really helpful, and I would have quite enjoyed it, I think, but I just find so difficult with the reference picture being so small. All right, next we're going to move on to two puzzles that come from the Mindbogglers series. These are not my puzzles. These belong to my puzzle partner, and she has a huge stack of puzzles in this series. They are quite popular, quite affordable, and many of them are actually really, really good. I've got 6 of them myself. I have done 3 of them, and I've got the other 3 left to do. Don't mind them at all. They're mostly 1,000-piece puzzles. One of mine is a 1,500-piece puzzle, but these are all kind of standard puzzle images and standard puzzle quality, reasonably good. They hold together pretty well. So the quality of the pieces, the image on the box is big enough to use as a reference picture. So no complaints really about the quality of Mindbogglers puzzles or the reference picture or anything like that. What I have to say about these two, though, is that the image themselves is so challenging that it becomes really, really tedious to complete the puzzle. The first one here is called Tropical Garden at Pattaya. It is showing a beautiful garden with hedges, a very formal garden, topiary trees in very geometric patterns. There are rows of pots that have plants in them to create lines and things throughout this. There are these tall conical trees, there are rounded trees, there's these areas of grass, there's this area at the back here which is actually the easiest part of the puzzle to do. Quite unusually, the slightly out of focus distance part of the puzzle turns out to be the easy bit. But my puzzle partner and I have completed this puzzle once. We have attempted it on 2 other occasions as far as I know, and we just simply don't enjoy it. You end up with every single piece having to look for it on the box and put it in the right place. And that to us doesn't amount to a great deal of fun. Now I understand that with a challenging puzzle, you might need to do that from time to time, to look on the box and find the exact location of each piece in a particular section. And I accept that. But when you have to do it for practically the entire puzzle, it does become really tedious. And we found that with this. Even these strong lines here from the hedges and the lines of the terracotta pots, you'd end up having to look for the specific pot or the specific hedge or part of the hedge to fit each of these in. And honestly, it wasn't that much fun. You can see that when we packed it up, we left sections of it completed. Not whole big slabs, I have done that before, but small sections so that if we ever really wanted to give it another go, we'd be able to put parts of it together fairly easily. It's kind of cheating, but everybody does puzzles in different ways. There aren't any actual rules for doing puzzles for yourself. So some people would think that's cheating, some people don't. With this puzzle, I don't think it's cheating. I think it's cutting a few corners and making it a lot more interesting. So did not enjoy that one because there didn't seem to be enough variation across the image for it to be enjoyable. Just looking on the box, a box watching the whole time. Didn't enjoy that. The other one out of the Mindbogglers series is this one. It's called Snow Cabin, New York State. Really nice picture. Lovely picture. I prefer this image to the garden. There's a cabin with snow on the roof, a grey coloured cabin and with a red door. And there are trees, some thick trunks and branches. There's a patch of sky up here with hints of blue in it. Lots and lots of snow. And then there's this bank of snow down the bottom, just on the ground. We have done this puzzle once. I don't know if we actually completed it, to be brutally honest. I know that we completed the cabin. I know that we completed the snow across the ground. Even though it looks like probably the most difficult part of the puzzle, it isn't. The branches of these trees are terribly difficult. We probably did the sky because there's just enough blue there to piece that together without too much hassle. But I think the trees did us in with this. Sitting there with puzzle pieces looking for individual branches, individual spotted pieces, and think, where on earth does that go? Which way up does it go? Looking at the puzzle piece and thinking, which way is the snow laying, or which way is up? I actually think we did not finish this one. Again, like the garden, we packed up sections of it in pieces. I think it's mostly the edge, I would say, that got packed up in little slabs. Although there's a piece of the sky there. Oh no, underneath. Here we go. We didn't finish it because underneath all the pieces and the edge, we have got the cabin entirely complete lying on the bottom and another part of the puzzle underneath. So it might be a whole cabin section here in the middle, and part of the ground is entirely finished in the bottom of the box. So we have not finished this puzzle. We have no intention of finishing this puzzle actually. I suspect my puzzle partner will donate this one to an op shop or maybe to our local public library because it is complete, and they lend out puzzles to the general public. That's probably where this one will end up, and probably the maze. She and I have no intention of completing those two puzzles again because they just stopped being fun after a point. I've got puzzles which are challenging. There's no doubt about it. There are puzzles out there which are challenging to do that I have not given up on. Just because something's challenging, I want to assure you, just because something's challenging doesn't mean I'm giving up on it. For example, I have this puzzle from the Rijksmuseum. I actually think this belongs to my puzzle partner, but she's popped it in here with my collection. So it's a picture of a Vermeer painting. It does not come with a poster. I thought it did. Anyway, it's a Vermeer painting. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. But it has very, very dark section across the bottom of the image. I'm pretty sure there was a poster. Maybe it's right in the bottom. Anyhow, there's a large dark section in the bottom of it, across the bottom of the picture, and where the colours kind of bleed into one another. There's the sort of greenish brown of the tablecloth. There's the dark reddish colour of the woman's skirt. There's the colour across the floor, towards the floor. All very dark, muted, brownish tones. Quite challenging to finish that part of the puzzle, but I have done this one twice, and I would probably do it again. So, yes, not an easy puzzle, certainly a challenging one, but it didn't. The pleasure was still in the completion of this one. It wasn't like one of these where the pleasure drained out of it quite quickly and you ended up just slugging away at it, feeling like you're not actually making any progress at all. This one I felt like I could make progress, and the really difficult sections, so this back wall here and the bottom of the puzzle, were limited to certain parts of the picture, and you could get the rest of it done and break it up that way. So I'm not against the challenge, not against a difficult puzzle, but when the fun goes out of it, there's no point. Life's too short for a really boring puzzle. So you might like some of those images. You might think that they're fantastic, and yes, you'd love to do those as a challenge too, but I'm sorry, I'm not doing any of those particular ones ever again. All right, if you'd like to click like and subscribe on my channel to get further videos as they become available, that'd be great. If you want to put some comments below about puzzles you've given up on, I'd be interested to find out what it is that you like to do and what it is that you simply won't do or have tried to do and won't do anymore. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.